Hello there, my name's Alec from Rock Paper Shotgun, and today I'm going to show you the first hour of Prey, the new game from Arkane, the studio best known for Dishonored amongst other games. This is the first hour of the game. I played it last week, but I'm going to do that thing where I pretend that I'm playing it right now just to make it a bit more dynamic. As you can see, you get to choose either a man or a woman version of the protagonist Morgan Yu right at the start. It doesn't matter who you choose, they're the same, it's just a matter of preference. And as you can see, this is set, as far as we know, in the year 2032, so the near future. It seems to be, the real future, if there's such a thing, as opposed to the sort of alt reality of Dishonored and Dumble. And Morgan is just coming to in her fancy apartment. Kind of joins Deus Ex Mankind Divided in the current vogue of very, very fancy, super detailed video game apartments. That is a trend I can absolutely get behind. Someone's calling.
Hey, Morgan, wake up. You're burning daylight. Send the helicopter to pick you up. It's just a few tests. Don't forget to wear your suit. See you soon.
I notice he's called Alex Yu. I'm gonna guess he's some kind of relation, brother or uncle or father. He sounds a bit like the guy who plays Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad, but don't quote me on that, could just be a sound alike. So the apartment's very detailed, it's full of things to read, things to pick up and throw about, just for the hell of it, in a sort of Deus Ex-y sort of way. As far as I know, this is more or less a first-person shooter, but it's got some immersive sim elements, and kind of dicking around with physics is very much a hallmark of those sort of things. Some nice little details in the apartment. That I chose the woman version of Morgan, and though that doesn't affect abilities, there's stuff like there's a handbag and some heels and a necklace in the apartment. And I didn't get to play it with the male version of Morgan, but I'm pretty confident in guessing that there'd be slightly different accoutrements about the apartment if I had done so. See that Morgan's very much a sciencey sort of person who seems to have very ostentatiously left all these high-minded books lying around to impress visitors, but it's setting the scene so we understand what sort of person she or he is. Just push over the Herman Miller chair for no particular reason there. She seems pretty wealthy, so I'm going to guess she's got a cleaner who will come and sort out the mess resulting from her pointless bratish behaviour here. And there's the world outside. It looks like a pretty well-to-do future Earth. There's a bit of a Mirror's Edge to it there. It's quite clean, although not as sort of stark and white. Got my own little lab here. Clearly Morgan's into building stuff. And a computer. Fortunately we know the password already. The controls here are a bit strange, and just to break the fourth wall, you'll see a bit later, I keep accidentally hitting the screen with the wrench. That's because even though you've got a mouse cursor there, if you click, it basically hits. You have to press F to activate a message. I hope that's something they either iron out in the full build. This is obviously pre-release, or there's just an option to change it, because I do look like an idiot later on when I just keep on thumping that screen. Little bits of things to pick up. This is kind of for crafting later on, but at the moment we're still scene setting, so I can't do any of that stuff. Neuromods are a concept sort of key to this world, which is like little swappable, I think, implantations that go into the eye, which is quite gruesome. You've probably seen some of the early screenshots of Morgan standing in front of the mirror poking around at what looked like a very bloody eye, and that's something essentially done by choice, or so it seems, to enhance some sort of abilities or replace mobile phones and stuff, I guess. I had to poke around, so I've put on my TranStar uniform, which kind of sounds like a dance troupe from 1978, but I am quite okay with that. And there's a helicopter on the roof just to kind of really push home those Deus Ex comparisons here. I'm working for some sort of high-end corporate organisation in the future, and I can flush the toilets. So far, very much so Deus Ex, really. Occasionally I pause. That's because when I was originally recording this video, I was just diving out to take some notes. That's how you know I haven't just gone to use my own flushable toilet in the background. But we'll pick up again soon and go and find that helicopter. Hopefully see a bit more of the world of Prey rather than just the apartment. But I do like this apartment. Look at that rug, it's lovely. Let's head out. Can I get into any of these things? I cannot smash the fish tank. That's good. I don't want to have a fish's death on my conscience at this point.
Heard there's a chopper on the roof. Must be for you.
I guess not everyone's in sort of high power jobs at this stage. We haven't moved to quite a bright future of privilege for everyone. My floor and the roof. The roof it shall be. Looks very well maintained here. Nice cacti, sorry. Doesn't seem like there's any other guests, or I can't get into any of these places yet, but if I know my immersive sims, it may well be that we come back here later and find careful or illegal ways into these rooms and find out all sorts of secrets about them. But in the meantime, private chopper, how about that? Glad to see their seatbelts. Safety first, Morgan. I really like the sort of retro futuristic soundtrack that's going on here. It's a little bit like the stuff in XCOM in a way, but it's more sort of bright and optimistic rather than the really dark, ominous synthy stuff. You can see that sort of Mirror's Edgy stuff I was on about. Definitely being made to think that this is a pretty happy future, although I'm guessing that's San Francisco, which is at the moment very much a city that's it's divided between the rich and the poor in quite a stark way. I don't know if that's the case in 2032 or not. Bit too far above the clouds to divine any of that, really. I'm guessing the building with the very ostentatious gold logo on the front is where we're going. I like the way they've done the credits here, built into the backgrounds. Sadly, I'm locked in place, so I can't reach into that little pocket to see if there's a little sick bag and a safety instruction manual. But this being Arkane, someone probably has modelled those things at some point. Rooftop helipad, again, that's a Deus Ex-y stuff, but colour scheme's very different from either the sort of dark blues of the original Deus Ex or the black and gold of the new one. It's more sort of generally vibrant. A little touch of the Aperture Labs to it, maybe, to the sort of flat white designs of the Portal universe. It's a lot of floors. 90 floors. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Alex. It's much more important to look at the furniture right now. Oop, that's some dramatic little riff there. Little closed down security office there. Again, immersive sims. Not that this is quite an immersive sim, but I'll just bet I'm making my way into there at some point.
How's your eye? Still red? I know the test might seem a little unconventional, but it's a you family tradition. Breaking convention is in our blood. Once you start the test, just do whatever comes natural. Don't overthink it. Bellamy's gonna walk you through the process. You're in good hands.
That
We'll be in order.
does sound at least a bit like Jonathan Banks from
Promise.
Breaking Bad, but
They're ready for your sister in Rome.
it's
Right.
clearly an Asian American character, so
Just be yourself.
you know, hopefully they
I'll see you after.
would have stuck an appropriate actor there, but it's hard to say. I did have a search, I couldn't find any reference to Jonathan Banks on this game, so it could well be someone else and just happens to sound a bit similar. Not important. All important test, can you throw things at people?
Would you stop that?
Yes. Another key Deus Exy factor, I would say. I'm not stopping to read the books or the magazines or anything thoroughly here as I would if I was playing completely freely, but I know my time with this game is limited, so I want to make sure I can see as much as possible rather than burrow very carefully through every word.
Looks like we have some tests to run through today. Probably not the kind of thing you're used to, I imagine, but trust me, you're going to do fantastic. All good? Great. Let's begin. For this first test,
I don't know what these tests are about, but it does seem that Morgan is a willing participant rather than you know, an enforced lab rat here.
Wonderful. Press the red button when you're ready.
I guess this is kind of a tutorial in disguise. It's got a good way to do it, making it feel like part of the fiction of the game rather than an interruption teaching grandma how to suck eggs.
You're absolutely fine. Let's move on to room B then.
Room B. Again, there's definitely an Aperture Labs vibe here, although generally our experiences with Aperture Labs do not involve actual humans, which is a change.
Listen carefully. I'd like you to do your best to hide in this room. Take your time, relax, think it over. No, I'm kidding. You only have 9 seconds.
Where can I hide?
Hit the red button when you're ready to start.
There's not a lot of places here. It's either behind that wall or behind the chair. Let's go to the chair. This almost certainly isn't going to work. I must look ridiculous.
She's hiding behind the chair.
Any synaptic register?
Can't work out if they just think I've been an
No?
idiot or I've
Fine.
done what they didn't expect.
Sorry, let's keep things moving, Morgan. Head into
There's
room
definitely
C.
something a little bit,
You're doing marvelous.
I'm going to say, sinister going on here. It doesn't feel like I'm seeing the truth of things, really. But maybe I'm just paranoid. That Deus Ex training in me is that your employers are always lying to you. That's the rule.
As quickly as you can, in the most natural, intuitive way possible, without thinking. Just go for it.
A jumping test, eh?
You're ready.
Wee plonk.
I'm sorry, can someone please explain to me what's happening? Simon?
I installed exactly what Tina brought down.
Did you double check?
Speaker's still on.
I apologize, Morgan. We're having some trouble with...
Have I jumped incorrectly, or
You're doing fabulous, actually. One last room. Let's
Have
step
I-
into D.
broken away from some sort of programming they expected? It's definitely quite strange. Room D.
Can someone get me a cup of coffee? I would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Morgan. Have a seat at the table for me, please.
Way ahead of you.
Wonderful job. Take a look at the screen in front of you. I'm going to show you a series of questions. Pick the answer that makes the most sense to you. Press start on the screen when you're ready.
This feels a bit Blade Runner, doesn't it? Being tested. Am I human or am I android?
You got the hang of it. Keep going.
Yeah, pretty scared.
That's heavy stuff.
Oh god, come on. Now that's not fair. Do I want to actively kill one person or passively kill 5? I don't know that I feel right about that. Whereas whereas in that case I don't want to actively kill. I don't know. I'm gonna be heroic. Would I do that in real life? I don't know. I'd like to think so. I can't promise that. It's just a game. It's just a game.
For this next part, I'm going to display an image. I want you to take a good look at it. In a moment, I'm going to ask you what...
That is definitely Megatron dressed as a man. Oh dear. Was that the thing I was just looking at came to life, or was it just a coincidence? Did I just psychically kill that man somehow? And now I've been gassed.
Alex,
Simmons, what's going on?
we have a problem.
What about Morgan?
She's alive, sedated.
Clean it up. I'm on my way.
Well, if you know anything about Prey, you've probably seen those sort of black tar-like, crab-like aliens. I'm going to call them aliens for lack of a better term before they're sort of a signature enemy to it. That seemed to have been unexpected. I don't know if that was an attack from nowhere or if those guys have something to do with the presence of those crabby dudes. But look, I'm back here, everything's back to normal. Someone's tidied up. Even the junk is back on the desk. Any new emails? Yes, new. Someone's pretty keen. From January. I know it's saying danger read now, but I'm more interested in case there are any goodies I missed in the apartment. Oh, right, I'm going to move on. This feels a bit Groundhog Day. Except the music is rather more paranoid than optimistic this time round. Booze, definitely take the booze. Still can't open the door. No. Oh dear. Well, something's changed. She looks very dead indeed. I have a weapon.
It's time we spoke. My code name is January. You're not dreaming. What happened yesterday was real. If you want to know what's going on, first you need to get out of your apartment building. You're not safe.
Bonk. I swear there was a door or a corridor behind me before, but now it seems to be shut down, which is strange. Am I even in the same place? How can I get out of here? Well, I do have a wrench, and this is made of glass. Oh, hello. Are we in the Truman Show? Quite creepy. Quite creepy. Being watched and recorded.
Good. You're in the simulation lab. Now get to the exit. I'll keep in contact.
Which reminds me a lot of Deus Ex Invisible War, which I know is sort of the least fondly remembered of the Deus Ex game, but it did have a pretty neat start, which was similar to this, that it was you in your nice apartment in the future, and then gradually it turned out you were sort of something of a lab rat being monitored, and there was a conspiracy, because there always is in Deus Ex. But it's quite a nice curtain pull. Lots of bottles of wine. Presumably that's how they restock my room every morning after I've drunk my breakfast wine. Oh, hello you. I will just do what comes naturally here. Take necroscopy required to take a tumour from its corpse. It's okay, I don't really want to carry around tumours anyway. Ah, so I don't even begin to understand the layout of how that worked, but Seems like everything is a facade. Do I go towards the big red glowing exit sign? No, let's look at the rest. Looks like I can do a sort of power strike with the wrench if I need to. That does not look like an appealing machine to sit in. But I'll just bet I have unknowingly been sat at some point. This is what I said earlier about how the left click, even when you've got a computer cursor up on the in-game screens, makes you hit stuff. And it's a very hard piece of muscle memory to break, to be honest. Maybe speaks to a sort of console first interface, though other than that I didn't feel there were any issues that made it feel, you know, less than a PC game. Oh, and I've done it again. That one was deliberate though. So I'm noticing that I can't pick up bigger stuff, but it says some skill is required. I'm guessing I'm going to be able to put points into abilities at some point. The safe code is scrubbed out. Damn you. Really got time to be rummaging through every safe anyway, but I presume there are useful goodies scattered around if you want to put the hours in looking for codes. Oh dear. Lots of these machines seem to have the same messages at the moment. I really wish I could remember not to do this.
Hey, Morgan. Wake up. You're burning daylight. Send the helicopter to pick you up. It's just a few
This is the call I had from Alex before. It seems like it's sort of canned recordings. Does he even really exist? Or is it just that he can't be bothered to say the same things himself every morning, so they've made it easy for him. Clearly they've trapped me in some sort of simulation in this sort of Truman Show fake world, and I'm going through the same things every day and they're monitoring to see how I react to that. It gives them quite a neat hook for why you, as both the player and the character, don't remember what's come before this. The old video game amnesia plot problem sort of dealt with fairly handily there. It's a lot more industrial behind the scenes here. Don't get the same sort of cleanliness and brightness. And there's my helicopter park ride. I guess that doesn't actually fly anywhere, but just sort of wobbles around on these pistons to make me feel like it. That is an elaborate ruse. I'm going to smash the window to wreak my terrible vengeance. What I don't know is if they even know I've broken out, or if they've all been killed by the little alien crab things and are far beyond caring anyway. Explosive canister. What can I explode with that? Let me find my hole in the window. See if I can blow up the pretend helicopter for fun. Boom! No. I guess I need a gun to make that explode. I'm not going to hit it with the wrench because that will probably take my face off. Things. Mysterious things I don't have a use for yet. Looks like their fake scenery is a bit broken. It's a bit Half-Life as well, isn't it? The sort of returning to an environment you previously saw in quite a sort of tranquil, secure way that's now been subject to a beastie breakout and become more hazardous and more gloomily lit. Where am I going to? So the lift doesn't really go up, it just switches the scenery around so that the exact same floor just transforms to be what earlier appeared to be a different floor entirely. Nice. So the chopper's still here, nothing out here has changed. Can't help but think that someone spent a lot of money doing this. Would it not have been cheaper to actually just rent 2 floors of a building instead of the fake lift transforming room thing? I don't. Let's not worry. I told you I'd be able to go into that security office later, didn't I? Let's check there's nothing new around here first. And yep, there's my way in. I can't see the dude who was here earlier, so either he's run away or got by those aliens. It's that same email again. I'm still clicking rather than pressing F. It's very unnatural to press F on what looks like a mouse cursor. Looks like the guy who was in here was certainly in on the ruse anyway, as he's got a magic button to switch things around from his own terminal. Medikit. We have a lean, you'll notice there. The weapon item switching interface is a little bit convoluted. I can't seem to just quickly scroll between items, but rather have to go to that wheel and manually pick what I want next. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Oh, hello. Notice it was briefly turned into a chair there. Decided on preemptive action there. I was pretty sure it was going to break out if I didn't deal with it first. Which possibly makes me a psychopath. I just don't feel those guys are super friendly, to be honest. Coming up to the halfway point on my session, so I will wrap up part 1 soon and aim to do a part 2 tomorrow. Let's just make our way to the next environment and then I will pause it there. These are the, in case you forgot, these are the testing chambers I was in earlier for the tutorial-y sort of thing.
Alex, Simmons, what's going on? We have a problem. What about Morgan? She's alive, sedated.
So that is the recording or the voice I heard earlier. Is that, did they record their call, or am I still in the simulation? Is this still part of the test? You know, it feels like I've dramatically broken out, but maybe this happens every time as well. We've, you know, gone a bit edge of tomorrow here. I quite like that vibe to it, that there's huge uncertainty. Oh, there's my apartment just underneath where I am. Felt like such a big space in all these different locations, but it's all, it seems, within one big warehouse, everything right next to each other. Some very effective smoke and mirrors. Oh, hello, 2 of you. A wrench seems a pretty efficient way to deal with them. I haven't taken any serious damage yet. Yeah, that creeping sense, they could be anywhere, they could be anything, so I'm doing a few speculative strikes at things just in case. Restart the simulation. So this is how they made me feel like I was flying across the city. Yeah, look at that. So that is like a VR projection rather than the actual outside, isn't it? Turn off the looking glass. Is this basically Vive Simulator 2032? Is that going to be the the final twist? Alright, exit. Let's see what is on the other side of the exit. Oh! Is that the guy who was in the security office earlier? Can't help you. This is magic unbreakable glass. Oh! So killing him helped them to multiply. That's a frightening skill. I will take the banana peel from your pocket. Why are you carrying around a banana peel rather than just a banana? Thump, thump, thump. Biohazard waste. Did I just pick up an envelope full of poo? I hope not. Medikits. Remote manipulation. Yes, that sounds about right. Hey, I did it right that time. So they definitely knew about the alien mimic things. But are they aliens or are they some sort of creation? Okay, well that seemed like a good juncture to stop for now, and tomorrow we will find out just what lies beyond that exit and perhaps where I really am. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. There is a copy of the full recording without me jabbering all over it on the site as well. I'll stick a link below where you can read about it all, plus my written thoughts on rockpapershotgun.com. Thank you very much. Bye.